So I'm preparing myself for the new year and I want to focus on the little things of what I can do better as a business owner and a tile contractor. So the story of when I met my wife on our first date came to mind. And I remember we set a time, we set a date to go on our first date. And I remember I showed up on time, and while I was walking towards the porch, the walkway towards the porch, my wife already opened the door, came out, greeted me, and said, "All right, well, let's go." And I remember thinking, and I said something. I go, "No, that ain't cool. You took that away from me." And she said, "Took what? What did I take away for you?" And I said, I was looking forward to walking up the porch, walking up the steps, knocking on the front door, you opening it and seeing the smile on your face. So I said, you took that away from me because that part was for me. But what I wanted not only to show her was that she was so willing for me to walk up to the porch to go get. And she was living with her dad at the time. And I wanted to show her father that she was the number one person that I respected in my world right now. And she was my number one person that I wanted to show that I was going to be a selfless act for. Yeah, would it have been convenient for me to just pull up, text, call, say, "Hey, I'm outside, come out"? That would have been the most selfish and convenient thing that could have happened. But what I wanted to show was her that I was on time, and I wanted her to know what it's like to get knocked on the door, because I don't know and I don't ask what the previous people were doing, but I was wanted to show what I'm gonna do. And then I wanted to show her father that, number one, um, she's the most important. She is most important. She's going to be taken care of. She's not going to spend a dime. She's going to be listened to. I'm going to observe her. And this is day one. Um, I didn't know where that was going to go. I didn't know that, 9 years later we would be married with two kids and loving each other still, loving life, and all that kind of stuff. But I was willing to prove that when you mess with me, that's what you're going to get. And what I mean by that is next year, my focus is more so on the owner, the client. The most important part is the client. And I'm not on very much on social media. I'm not on Instagram as much. I'm not on Facebook as much. I don't have any following. Do you know why? Because just a quiet person, and I would rather just work and get stuff done versus stop what I'm doing mid mud set, mid tile set, and start filming myself doing it. Am I the talent? Yes. Am I who people hired? Yes, I am him. I am what I am, and that's who they hired me. But my number one goal is to make the customer feel like they're my number one. So I do still love going to in-person estimates. I still do free estimates. Do I screen people over the phone call? Yes. But I love sitting on the phone for 30 minutes with a new customer that just called and had a boatload of questions. And I say, okay, no, talk to me. What do you want? How can I help you? How can I help you? And to hear there's no pushback, there's no challenges with what they're going through, but I want to hear them saying, "God, I got to meet you. I got to have you at the house." Okay, well, let's schedule an appointment. My wife, who we work together as a team. I'll say, hey, well, my wife needs to look at the schedule book, and let me pass you on to her. And my wife, she'll get on the phone in 2 seconds to write down your name, number, and we'll look at the calendar and write it up. But that part is for me because I want them to know they are my number one. My paying customer is my number one. And many times, because of that, I could walk into a house and I can walk into the front door and I present myself as just a regular contractor, but I'm trying to set myself apart. So what you're going to get from me is the knowledge that I have accumulated in over my years, over 20 plus years of tile industry, of tile setting industry, of general contracting industry. And that's the reason why I do it. And that's the reason why I wanted to break free from my father's business that I grew up. Number one, I didn't like the way my dad was doing business because it was very old school. And, obviously the next generation learns the new school of things. So I wanted to show him that, hey, I can do this too. Maybe a little bit better. That doesn't matter. But the craftsman stays the same. And then what I started to realize is that the more jobs I started to accumulate, that they wanted me in their home, not just because I tarp the floors, I cover the floors, I mask off the bedrooms, I mask off the open areas so there's not dust flying, the plastic in the backyard or the garage. I let them know that I'm in their sanctuary, and with me in their home, nothing will happen that will be bad. You will not call me and say, hey, there's a missing watch, there's a missing bracelet, a necklace. And believe it or not, there has been a lot of that, And so what I did was, in time, usually I started getting calls and say, hey, Lou, do you have a plumber? Yes, I do. Do you have an electrician? Yes, I do. A drywaller, a painter? And I started to notice that the people have been asking for cabinet guys and cabinetry and molding people and all these different trades. And I was like, yeah. And then I slowly started to get in charge of these things to where I was being not hired, but in charge of scheduling, just because these were my guys and this was my team. So they would say, hey, you're the tile guy. Who needs to come in first? And I would say, well, it needs to be demoed. We need rough plumbing. We need a rough electrical. We need rough drywall. We need the rough part. Well, can you schedule that? Sure. And then it started to gradually, job after job after job. And then I started to think like, having mentors in my life was really important because they were saying, man, you're leaving money on the table. I think you need to get your general's license. And sure enough, that's what I did. But my general's license and my business is not because I want to just grow as a business and make more money. That's actually the back seat. The back seat has always been the client. I drive. The client is in the passenger seat. Let me show you how I do things. And because of that, again, you're walking into a home that's probably 20 years dated, 30 years dated. People spend a lot of time and money to save these things. And what I wanted to show, as going back to the metaphor with my wife and our first date, I wanted to show her father, my father-in-law, that with me, you are in good hands. With me, you are worth walking up to the porch to go pick up. And I will fasten the seatbelt. I will, do the stop signs, the stop lights, the blinker. Yes, sir. And this was in our mid 30s. And I even asked him, is there a time that she needs to be home? And he said, nope, just bring her home safe. That's fine. Not a problem. Even the fact of, we didn't kiss. I think we gave maybe a side hug of just respect. I wasn't going to go there. I wasn't letting my mind going on of what can I get out of this? How can I look like a stud? How can I look like I'm the man? How can I, do you know why? Because eventually things expose themselves from what they really are. And I think within dates, you can realize like, oh, this fool's broke. He ain't who he said he is. He's a selfish guy, and no more respect to the father. No, no, very much respect. It's got to be the service after the sale that counts. So if you're selling yourself and you're selling your service, get as much as you can, but that shouldn't be the driver. What should be the driver is that you have a skill that the people are looking for, and it is your job to let the client know that you know 100% what's going on. If you don't, you're going to get the answers to know what's going on. The communication is going to be the best they've ever had. The timing of it is going to be the best. Cleanliness, yep, throw that in there. The bid is going to come in at a good enough time. Invoicing, payments. Again, I've always ran my business as a restaurant, and I am the host, I am the chef, I am the owner, I'm the busboy, I'm everything. And what I've noticed is that it could always start with just the host coming in to fill your name down. Timely bus boy, the water, the order taker, the order taking, the major things qualities that you like going to a restaurant versus being fast food. You know what you're gonna get: casual fast food or casual dining. The one with maybe $2 signs where like you order at the front desk, then you take it back to your seat. Whatever service you're looking for, you'll come back because they don't fail. And that's what we like to see. We like to see people in the service industry don't fail. Do orders get mixed up? Yes. Our favorite taco spot is around the corner. Have they occasionally messed something up? Yes. But 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, amazing. And we keep going back. So I just had this crazy feeling to just put that down on tape. Send it out to YouTube world. I really don't care, but I think it's just something that God put inside my heart to want to release. And what I want to release is that I care. I care about my customer. And am I the skill and the talent? Yes. These hands have built many showers, many floors. But you know what? They have also shaken many hands and been invited to many birthday parties. We've been invited to weddings and family gatherings, date nights with my wife and the customer's wife. And we've been showered with just love and appreciation that we have to give back. So that's what I'm taking into 2024 is a caring heart, a willing heart to listen to what people want. Realize that they're looking at you, but they're looking at you for the reasons why. Can I leave this guy my house? Can I pay him the money that he wants? And am I going to get what I'm expecting? Not only what he said, but that he communicated what I'm going to receive. So this is big stuff, but I'm excited. I'm excited to go get it. All right, man. I just had to share it. Peace.